All right, drum roll. Devoted Druid. All right. Here's our Devoted Druid deck. So to just explain a few things, it's the old Devoted Druid combo. So you pair this with Vizier of Remedies, you make infinite green mana, and then you win with infinite mana things, which can be Ballista would be one of them. Devoted Druid can also go infinite with Luxior on it, since the +1s that Luxior gives counteracts the negative counters. And we can win with either Ballista, or we can Finale for gajillions of mana. Tyvar helps us get back stuff from the graveyard. Stoneforge Mystic can find a bunch of things, including Luxior. We can also, if we have Viridian Longbow plus Devoted Druid plus something infinite, we can then tap and untap the Devoted Druid over and over and over to ping our opponents. Haywire Might is now main deck because it's Saga-able and gets rid of the One Ring. We've got Giver of Runes plus Skrelv to protect our creatures, as well as Birds of Paradise to get going faster, Spellskite to protect our creatures, and then Finale and Eladamri's Call function as additional tutors for Druid or Vizier or whatever we need. And then a Kaldra, so that Stoneforge can grab Kaldra when we're going the mid-range route. And then sideboard-wise, we've got 2 Burrenton Forge Tenders for anti-red removal matchups, Sanctifier, same thing, Orvar for creativity, Veil of Summer, Collector Oof to counter the One Ring, which unfortunately does stop our own equip abilities and Spellskite and Ballista, but sometimes you need that for the ring, and it's a tutorable creature to stop it. Jarina for graveyards, and then another Haywire Might, and then a bunch of other artifacts that are for various matchups, most of which can be got off of Urza's Saga, and then an Emrakul to beat Mill. And it's also an infinite mana outlet. So, alright, let us jump back to the league. I won the die roll. Would you like to play? Yep. 1 land only, not keepable. Alright, 3 lands, Devoted Druid, Eladamri's Call for the last piece. I don't think we need Drum. We can... Drum or Kaldra? I guess I'll put Drum back. I think I'm going to play Fetch Land and then go fetch a black source. We have green sources, so let's get Godless Shrine. Play Giver now or Devoted Druid now? Our opponent has Flooded Strand, which could mean a lot. It could mean Control, though. Yeah, let's just run Devoted Druid out. Flooded Strand tells... I mean, it could be a lot of things, but if it's Control, I want to get this under a counterspell. Rafine's Tower. So, yeah, Rafine's Tower Island, probably a control deck then. Alright, let's just kill this. So we can get it back with Tyvar later rather than having it get exiled. So let's run out Giver, and then just pass with Eladamri's Call up. At this point, I'm probably just going to call for Stoneforge. Teferi. Well, I guess we're casting this now. Yeah, let's just grab Stoneforge. Ooh, I can get Tyvar into play and put Devoted Druid back into play, but then I can't do anything else. I can go Tyvar, reanimate Devoted Druid, activate it twice, put Ballista into play, shoot Teferi, but then I just have an 0-1 Druid with nothing else going on. Putting Tyvar into play does let me play and activate Kaldra immediately next turn, though, if I have another land. It also lets me activate Giver of Runes immediately next turn. A lot of that is pretty nice. I mean, they might have Prismatic Ending, but what can you do? Alright, minus. Do I want to kill Teferi right now and use up Ballista? I think so. This game looks like it's pretty far away from being a... I guess if I don't do that, I have more mana next turn. I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Stoneforge, activate, Giver of Runes. I'm on away anyway. Let's just pass. Teferi's static is just so incredibly good that there's always the temptation of, like, you just want to get this off the board now. Alright, let's go with... Let's see if Stoneforge makes it past a counterspell. Probably not, eh? Yeah, okay. So given that that's the case, now what? We have another 4 to 5 mana that we can use. Let's get... I can get Haywire Might. Does that really matter, though? I can get down a Ballista 2 and then kill Teferi, but then I'm using my Ballista up. Let's just get this out here. And then untap that. Haywire Might. And then pass. Attack with Devoted Druid. Send a message. Yeah, Teferi's up to 3 now. That's unfortunate. So my opponent can instant speed Wrath, which is also bad. They can also cycle Shark Typhoon. So I have 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 short of Kaldra. So I think I go... I want to keep Tyvar around, so let's just make this X is 2. And let's attack Teferi with Haywire Might. If he cycles a Shark, I can Giver, make it pro-blue, and then hit him anyway. And then everything's going to die, so that's fine. And let's just run this out. And then next turn, I can minus Tyvar and put Stoneforge back into play. and then immediately activate it to put Cauldron to play. Passing again, that is quite obnoxious. All right, minus Tyvar. Let's get back Stoneforge. Now what am I getting? I guess Luxior. Yeah, let's get Luxior. And then let's just attack Teferi to death. They do have the mana for Prismatic or Binding. Is this gonna go through? Really? Okay. I guess I can just cast Luxior, right? Like there's no reason not to. Snapcaster Mage, and they're gonna flash back Prismatic. Counterspell. Wait, what are they flashing back? Oh, just nothing? Or did they actually target Prismatic? I guess anything that I can activate doesn't matter. So, oh, and then I have no blockers for Tyvar. That's unfortunate. Who's still playing Snapcaster Mage nowadays? We're running into all the old decks today. Boomer Jund, and now Blue-White Control with Snapcaster. All right, now what? Luxior doesn't do anything, right? Creature gets +1 for each counter on it, so that doesn't do anything. I could attack with Stoneforge just to do it. No, I'm not going to. Let's just attack with Cauldron. So my thinking is, if I play Birds this turn, that gives me 4 mana next turn, so I can play the other Stoneforge and then immediately activate this one. Whereas attacking now just lets them go like Wandering Emperor, exile your Stoneforge, or Shark Typhoon. If it's Wandering Emperor, they'll hit the Germ, but if it's Shark Typhoon, they just get a free block here. So let's just not attack with this and just attack with the Germ. I'm very surprised that they don't have anything. I guess, okay, if I play this Stoneforge, then they have to kill both of them. It doesn't even matter. The only equipment left in my deck is what? Shadow Spear? I just have one left. Whatever the last equipment is in my deck, I may as well just cast it. Maybe because of the One Ring, a lot of the Moto grinders are sitting out the leagues for now. That's why you're not encountering as much meta. That could be. Get Longbow. That's fine. Alright, I officially cannot respond to anything my opponent does, so let's just keep passing. Archmage's Charm to steal the Germ. Okay. Why didn't they just steal it before I hit them? Yeah, 14. Probably not winning this game, though. Our opponent has 6 cards in hand, so we can't really block. How much is this to equip? 3. So we can spend our entire turn playing Viridian Longbow and equipping it. If we attack, they can trade with Snapcaster, and they can also just flash in any number of blockers. So I think our plan is just cast Giver of Runes, and then cast Longbow and equip it next turn. But we're in the same kind of position here as we were last round with Slivers, where like this deck does not do well against highly interactive decks like Blue-White Control. Snap counter. Alright, cast the Longbow, and then we cannot equip anything, so pass the turn. So yeah, no cards in hand to their 5 cards, and they have a better board state. Does not bode well for me. Do I just trade for both of these? The Stoneforges aren't really doing anything anyway, because I'm out of equipment, so I may as well just not take damage. Fiala Damri's Call, what can I get? Devoted Druid and play it, and certainly these are just going to be countered. The alternative is to just do nothing, or try to call on their own turn. But they have so much mana that I'm not really like mana denying them anyway, so I may as well. White. I assume they'll just let this resolve, and then, yeah. So, yeah, just grab Devoted Druid and play Devoted Druid. And they counter it. Yep. Well, if our fate was not sealed before, it now is. So we're going to 4, and we're dead in 1 more hit from the Cauldron. There's nothing that we can top deck. No, actually, if we top deck... No, there's nothing... So let's say... I guess if we top deck Tyvar, we can win. Because then we can reanimate Devoted Druid. Yeah, well, that's not going to do it. Alright, next game. Alright, so Veil of Summer... Forge Tender Sanctifier don't do anything. Orvar doesn't do anything. Collector Oof, I mean, maybe they're playing the One Ring, but we're not going to bring that in until we see for sure that they are. The fact... Okay, so they're playing Rafine's Tower for Prismatic Ending. They could also have Leyline Binding, but I don't think it's worth bringing in another Haywire Might just for that. We want Pithing Needle to name their walkers. We don't want Shadow Spear or Soulless Jailer. I guess if the game goes long enough, we could play Emrakul. No. The only way we're ever getting enough mana for Emrakul is if we go off with Devoted Druid. We have 22 lands in our deck plus Birds of Paradise. So a lot of times this is just going to be a dead card. What do we take out? We want all of our protection. Birds is kind of a dead draw, even if we're on the play. When your opponent has so much interaction, you can't count on this Mono Dork, especially when our opponent has sweepers and whatnot. So I think the only thing then is Longbow's an outlet. Springleaf Drum's something we may want to search for, or we may not. If we're not playing Birds, we definitely want Drum. I think we want everything else. Soulless Jailer do anything in this matchup? Graveyards can't enter the battlefield, can't cast non-creature spells from graveyards or exile, so it stops Snapcaster Mage, but that's it. Or if they have Memory Deluge, it stops that. That doesn't seem great either. I think this is okay. Alright, submit. Well, that's a Veil of Summer. Okay, let's keep this and then play Verdant first, and then just... I kind of want more green. We do need a black source, so let's grab Overgrown Tomb. All right, and we would like to have Saga up next turn, so let's go Saga, and then just... Oh, I have screwed this up royally, haven't I? I needed to fetch white and not played Saga. Rather, I just needed to not play Saga. This is okay. Oh, they're marching it. All right. And Veil does nothing against that. All right. Well, okay then. We cannot do anything, so go ahead. I like running a Singleton Shalai and Duskwatch Recruiter as well in these lists. Good utility and gives an outlet for infinite green mana. I used to run... So in older versions of the deck, I ran those, but I don't think you need either anymore. Especially like Shalai is just too expensive now. All right, well, I guess we're just jamming Stoneforge. Yeah, that was a huge mistake on my part. Stern Scolding. I needed to... Yeah, it was just a mistake to play Urza Saga. So, Stern Scolding. All right. So I can play this Saga. Hopefully they don't march it. And then I can run Stoneforge out and protect it with Veil. All right, well, let's grab Cauldron. So they don't have Snapcaster Mage. Otherwise, they would have probably Snap Sterned it. Okay, they do have Snapcaster Mage. Oh, they're going to snap the march on the Saga. But then why didn't they do that in response? Maybe... Yep. All right, there goes the Saga number 2. They either read that Veil of Summer was up, or they just decided that it was better to pick lands off. All right, Veil. So now they can't Teferi bounce my Stoneforge, and then I get to Stoneforge Cauldron to play and kill Teferi. So now I assume they'll just minus. Okay, they're not going to minus, which means they can have Solitude or other answers. All right, well, let's put Cauldron to play, I guess. What do you got? Well, things have kind of derailed here. So now they can bounce their Snapcaster back to their hand and then have multiple spells up, or they can just keep plussing. Yep, Snapcaster, so they can Snap Scold anything that they want, which means creatures are off the table. So I can't play Giver. Oh, I can Stoneforge a Viridian, that doesn't matter. So I think the game plan is just attack Teferi and then hold up Eladamri's Call for next turn. They could snap just to block, I suppose, although they don't need to. Okay, they did not. So with that being the case, I'm just going to hold Eladamri's Call up. Another Teferi. Oh, right, I can't hold Eladamri's Call up because of Teferi. What am I thinking? So many mistakes today. Jeez, I gotta get on my game here. Okay. Wait, did they Legend Rule the wrong one? I'm so confused. So they still have Snap, but now they can just Snap counter anything I play, so... May as well just run out Giver of Runes so that I can get it back with Tyvar next turn anyway. I guess we don't let them get multiple pieces of value. So if I attack and they animate Celestial Colonnade to block, then I can just play whatever I want. So they probably won't do that. So yeah, let's just attack Teferi. So yeah, they'll just snap in, counter, and they'll trade. That's fine. All right, let's see if I can bait them with the Longbow. Nah, all right. So this will get countered or stolen. But what am I going to do? Just not cast spells? Gotta cast spells. Okay, sure, yeah, you have a Giver of Runes. What am I doing next turn? Trying to resolve Tyvar and then getting back a Stoneforge that can't do anything? That doesn't seem great either. I can Needle their Teferi. That seems like a better move. Needle plus Eladamri's Call. Alright, let's try to resolve this. I assume this will resolve too, because I don't even need to counter it. We're a million miles away from Emrakul. We could grab Grist, which seems okay. Actually, Grist just dies in one hit to Colonnade, right? Yeah, so I guess just Devoted Druid and try to resolve this somehow. Proceed, sir. End of turn, Snap, Prismatic, get rid of Pithing Needle, probably? Yeah. So even if I play Druid, it can't do anything, so I'm better off... Grist doesn't do, like, Jack either. If I play Grist and Plus, then they just Colonnade kill it. So, but if I play Tyvar, I'm minusing and putting Stoneforge in play. Like, that's the best move, I suppose. I just don't have good moves regardless of what I do. So, that being the case... The highest upside card for resolving is Tyvar, so let's do that. And it's countered. All right. We're at 8 next turn, so we're dead in 2 turns. Because we'll take 3 from Giver plus Snapcaster, and then they can do 4 with Colonnade. So, bounce Snapcaster back to hand. Now they can counter anything we play. Unfortunate. If we play Marsh Flats and crack it, then we just lose. So let's not do that. I guess I'm going to play Marsh Flats, but I just don't have to crack it. So let's go with Grist. No, this will get countered. Stern Scolding works on Grist too? I guess it does. So they can put us to 1, or they can just attack us to 5, and then... Yeah. Alright, well, if we're going to lose anyway, let's crack this. So they have 4 cards in hand. We're just going to lose to Colonnade now? I guess I could have not cracked it, but then I wouldn't have enough to do here anyway. What's the only way that we don't lose this game? Stoneforge plus Devoted Druid to block, or Tyvar gets back. It's 2 value or less, right? Yeah. Well, let's try. Okay. Next game. Unfortunate. All right. You won the die roll. I would like to play. Looks great. We've got Giver and a Devoted Druid. Then Stoneforge to go find the payoff. Let's go get Godless Shrine. Pay the 2. play Giver. So next turn it's land Devoted Druid, hold up protection, and then presumably next turn then it's Stoneforge, grab Luxior, but we still don't have an outlet. Breeding Pool on turn 1, untapped. Oh, Live and End, okay. Oh, that's actually... so now our Giver doesn't do anything. That's rough. I guess, okay, so in response to Living End, we can kill our own Devoted Druid. Double Street Wraith. Well, we're going to play Devoted Druid. Should I have attacked there? Does Living End have any interaction on turn 2 that would matter? They might not. So what do we have next turn? We've got Stoneforge, grab Luxior. We can't equip Luxior yet. But then if we go one more turn, then we get to make infinite mana and play Ballista. All right. Yeah, okay. Stoneforge, grab Luxior. Put Luxior into play. It's 3 to equip, so we can't equip it yet. And then they are for sure going to Living End next turn, so I guess they wouldn't. I guess that's not actually true. They might pass the turn and then Violent Outburst, but regardless, there's no reason to add more creatures to the board because otherwise they're just going to get killed. So that being the case, let's just attack with Giver. Yeah, I don't see any reason to play these creatures because they'll just get swept away anyway. So if they Living End now, I kill Devoted Druid in response, it comes back, and then I just go equip Luxior, Ballista, kill you. If they do it on my turn, all right, well, they're doing it now. All right, Living End away. So if I'm not mistaken, I guess the only way we don't win is if they have Subtlety, to Subtlety the Ballista, or if they have Grief, to Grief it right now. Although, if they had Grief, they would have done that before they Living Ended. All right, let's grab Temple Garden. All right, now the clicking starts. Oh, away. All right, Ballista. Does this resolve? It does. All right, sideboarding. We're playing against Living End, Sanctifier, Chalice of the Void, Jailer. What does Stone of Eric do exactly? Bring that in. Needle does nothing. Haywire does nothing. Shadow Spear does nothing. Jarina. No. Is Veil of Summer worthwhile? Soulsy Control can't be countered. They don't count. I guess they counter with Force of Negation. So I'll bring these in if I have more to cut. Okay, what is the cut? They don't interact with your creatures like at all in any way. So all that can go. What else? Spellskite can go. Curator. Okay, they have Sky Turtle or Brazen Borrower maybe to bounce your stuff. Subtlety. Okay, they don't have any interaction really. I mean, they have a little bit, but not much. So I guess Veil, what? Protects like Tyvar from getting forced or like, yeah, okay. Oh, Haywire Might does nothing. Bring in Veil. Looks good to me. So on the draw, we're a turn behind. But the cool thing is that Devoted Druid works even after they Living End you because you can just kill it to have it come back. Okay, what do we have? Turn 1 Birds into turn 2 Tyvar. And then, yeah, this is fine. Turn 1 Birds, turn 2 Tyvar. Mill, hope to hit something. Even if you hit nothing, then next turn you go what? Like call, play Druid? Alright. Have you ever played the Pioneer Precons? What are your thoughts on them? Didn't you ask, were you the one who asked that question on the Q&A post? I finished the Q&A video. It's gonna go up on Sunday, but to answer your question here, for any of the precons, it entirely depends on just basically what singles do you need to build the deck, and then are those singles in the precon, and then are the singles in is the price of the precon the same or less than what you would buy those singles for individually? All right, I think I just go Shrine Tyvar. Milling is bad here unless I hit Devoted Druid, but anything else that comes back is bad. I guess if I get Stoneforge, I can also grab an equipment piece, which is good. So I think I'm fine just milling. All right, use Stoneforge, and let's grab Luxior. So there's a possibility they don't Living End next turn, but I can't grab cards based on that. So I think it's best to just grab Luxior so I have the payoff. I'll just grab Luxior. And then I'm out of mana for the turn, so pass. Yeah, so it's like, okay, what deck are you trying to build in Pioneer, right? So let's say you're trying to build Phoenix, and there's the Phoenix Precon. I have no idea what the prices of any of these cards are, but let's just say the Phoenix Precon is like $40. And then you look at it and go, okay, what cards in the Phoenix Precon are in current top-tier Phoenix deck lists? How much is the Precon, and how much are all those singles if you were to buy them individually? Oh, are they going to outburst us? Yep. Wait, they're Violent Outbursting now? They're Violent Outbursting now. Why not wait? I guess white decks have Reprieve in them, so there's a potential reason not to wait. All right, so the bird is free because I can tap it immediately. How much damage is this? It's 11, 16, plus another 2 with trample, so I can block one thing. Actually, the bird is more than free. It's actually more mana, so. Okay, so I have 4 mana, so I can go call I can call for Devoted Druid and play it, but then I can't do anything with it, because then I'll only have the Devoted Druid mana, which is not enough to equip Luxior. So then, or I can Finale, do the same thing. The alternative is that I play, because I need a blocker. I need to be able to block. So the alternative is I go Stoneforge, get Cauldra, and then just pass. I think that's good. So I think I go white, and then untap this. I should probably fetch now. Do I have a basic Plains in my deck? I should, right? Yeah. Cast Stoneforge, use the ability, grab Cauldra, and then and then just pass. And then we can put Cauldra into play. Well, I guess I'm doing this now then. So if they have Brazen Borrower or Colossal Sky Turtle, I'm dead. Because then they can just bounce the Germ and then I lose on board. So if they don't have the kill here, what do they need to take? I have double tutors, so either one of those doesn't stop me. So I would assume Luxior then would be the take, because then I don't have the out, but then that still leaves me with double tutor to go grab Druid plus Vizier. But I don't have enough mana to do both of them. I don't have enough mana to do anything, actually, for the kill next turn. Because next turn I have what? Tutor for Devote. I have 5 mana, Tutor for Devoted Druid. That leaves me with the Druid. Adds another 2, so that leaves me with 3 mana. So I'm 1 short of being able to win, unless I draw land. Yeah, I think they should take Finale. Opponent's really going in the tank here. Yeah. Oh, they took Ella Damri's Call. Okay. Cycle. What do I have in my graveyard? I have a bird and a Stoneforge. Well, if they're going to attack, they should attack with everything, and not just one creature. If they attack with everything, they go Oliphant trigger, put the trigger onto probably the Ent, and then I'm forced to block the Ent and take 11 and go to 3. Wonder if last turn we were supposed to Ella Damri's get play Devoted... Ella Damri's to get Devoted Druid and Stoneforge to block. So the problem is that Oliphant gives Trample, so I mean, you could block something. So I couldn't have done both last turn, because I didn't have Stoneforge or Druid yet. I needed a tutor for one of them. I only had 4 mana, so I couldn't have played both. They're just not going to attack, eh? If I were them, I would definitely attack. Like, what do they care if their creature gets exiled? They put me to 3, and then if they cascade again, I'm left with a Stoneforge and a bird. Yep, attacking with everything, it looks like. Ent's their worst creature, so that's what I would put. Okay, no, not attacking. Like, they're in no danger of dying from me attacking them back, so they should just attack. Yeah. What'd they give it to? This thing? Yeah, alright. Actually, am I supposed to block... Hang on. If I block this, then they don't have Trample anymore. And I go to 2, and then this Trampler's off the board, right? So they don't have Violent Outburst mana either, so they can't kill me that way. See, if I block this, then they no longer have Trample, which means next turn, if I'm not able to combo, I can block multiple creatures without it being an issue. I think I'm supposed to block here. Yeah, let's block here, and then take 12 and go to 2. It obviously changes if they cascade again, but if they cascade again, then my board becomes Bird Stoneforge, and they get Grief into play, and I can like barely block Grief anyway. 5 mana, so I can go Finale, find Devoted Druid, then tap the 1 remaining non-green color I have to put Vizier into play. Then I have infinite green, but then I have nothing to do with it. Alternatively, I can... So if I minus Tyvar and hit a Devoted Druid, then I need to play this other Tyvar to activate it. That leaves me with the same mana, but then I have infinite green for Finale. I think that's the play. And the second Tyvar gives me 6 mills to find Devoted Druid. Alright, so mill 3. Use Tyvar's ability. What did we hit? Oh, we did hit Druid. It's fantastic. So now I need to play the other Tyvar. Now we tap this, Vizier. Now we just got to get through the Clickathon. Alright, match number 3. We're 1-1. Before we begin the next match, just like to remind you all that this stream is indeed sponsored by CollectorLegion.com. You can go there for all the singles, accessories, sealed product, or even non-Magic games. Alright, I would like to play first. We have all the pieces, but we only have 1 land, so we cannot keep this hand. Alright, we can keep this hand and then put Cauldra back probably. So what's the play? Turn 2, Tutor, turn 3, Tyvar. So land, call, find Devoted Druid. Land, call, Devoted Druid, play Tyvar. Minus, hope to hit something. Alright, we're playing a bobble deck of some kind. So probably Murktide. Pay the life. Let's go grab Godless Shrine, I think. Yeah, Godless Shrine. Do not pay the 2. Almost certainly Murktide. Alright, well, I guess we're just playing that then. And even if they kill it, then we just follow up next turn by casting Tyvar and getting it back. They didn't kill it. Wait, breeding pool. All right, well, now I don't know what I'm playing against. Okay, we can go call for Vizier win. Where is my Vizier? There we go. Does it matter what I get at this point? Spell Skite. It's not how much do you have to, it's how much do you get to. Exactly, sir. Exactly. All right, I'm playing against something. I'm going to assume that it's Murktide until I see otherwise. Chalice. All right, Drum, Haywire Might. Not really sure what I'm supposed to be sideboarding here. Could it be Scape Shift? Like, but does Scape Shift play Bobble? No, right? Or it's like Teamer mid-range? Almost certainly Chalice has to be good. I don't know if it's a graveyard deck. Probably is. It might not even be a Veil deck. I'm not sure. I definitely want Forge Tender. Yeah, either Teamer Merc with Tarmogoyf or Grinding Station. I definitely want these 5, I think. And I'm not sure about these. I want to see graveyard stuff. But if it's Tarmogoyf, then these aren't that good. So what am I cutting? I want to keep Cauldra. Maybe Birds, especially on the draw. Skite. I want to keep all the protection spells. I want to keep Stoneforge. Yeah, so let's cut 3 birds. See what happens. All right, looks good. Turn 1 bird, turn 2 one of the 2 drops or Tyvar. So I do have to be careful. Sacred Foundry. Okay, now I don't know what we're doing. Ragavan. Is this Zoo? Zoo with Bobble and Iteration? Okay, that was a nice draw. What a draw. Okay, 4 different colors with Urza's Saga. Okay, it's 4 color Grinding Station. 4 color Grinding Station. All right, what am I doing now? I could Stoneforge, put Cauldron to play. That is a 13-8-3. It's a 4-turn clock. If I call for Devoted Druid, then that is a 3-turn clock, assuming it survives. If I play Bird, that doesn't really help me. I would play Bird if I had another land, and I could ensure that I had my next land drop. But failing that, I think it's just Eladamri's call. So let's pay that, and then let's just pass and call for Druid. Accidentally skipped there. Unfortunate. All right, well, now I will play this bird. Or Tyvar. Should I play Tyvar? No, let's play this bird. Should not be so trigger happy is what I'm learning. So they'll make a Construct, which I can't really block well now. So what are they missing? They're just missing Breach. 4 mana for the ring. Sure. Yeah, I'll take 5. So I can play Tyvar, untap the bird, and play Druid. That exposes it to removal, and they are multicolor Breach, which means they could have Prismatic ending, but that's fine, because then I just kill it and bring it back with Tyvar. Alternatively, I can Grist, sack something, kill Ragavan, which turns off their Mox Amber, but that doesn't seem great. And now we just pass. All right, if we can make it through this turn, we can win. Prismatic ending on Forge Tender. Well, I guess I'm going to sack and choose Ragavan. See, like that. It leaves a little, like, emblem-y thing behind, right? Why can't we get that with the One Ring trigger? Oh, now you can attack Tyvar to death, right? Man, screwing up that 1 turn is really going to cost me here, isn't it? Prismatic on the bird, too. I can play Druid, but that doesn't do anything. I can play Grist and make a token and chump block either of these things, but then that does not set me up for the next turn. Alternatively, I can play Tyvar, bring Devoted Druid. I can play Tyvar, bring Devoted Druid back, and then play a second Devoted Druid. That seems good. All right, let's get back. And pass. So now they get to draw 3 cards with the ring, which means they either find their combo or they find removal. I also take at least 7. If they have 2 more artifacts that they can play, I have to block, which is actually all right. If they... Yeah, I'm just going to take 7, and then if they have Bolt, they have Bolt. Oh, they were attacking Tyvar. Well, that's fine. Found a Giver of Runes. Are we comboing this turn? Or are we just sacking the ring because we're going to play another ring? Emery. Okay. They mill the Breach. They have Fury... Nutter Amber. All right. Where are we going with all this? Like, I get that we win with Oracle at some point, or Grape Shot. I suppose if they have Grape Shot, they can just kill me now, right? I've lost track of how many spells. Okay, it's just another ring. So to beat that, I need to put a Lethal Ballista into play and then kill them on their upkeep. So I can Finale for Vizier. Finale for Vizier, play Stoneforge, grab Viridian Longbow, equip it, and then deal infinite pings if they don't have instant speed removal. So I need to stop on their upkeep. So let's see, tap, tap, tap. I need X to be 4, or X to be 2 rather, I mean. I need to pay 4. Search library, grab Vizier, and then infinite manas. Grab Longbow. My artifact entering triggers their Grinding Station for some reason, but that's fine. Equip. All right, let's kill all their guys. just in case they have a way to answer this. Untap this too, why not? Do I want to play Grist or Giver? I guess Grist. Alright, pass and then stop on upkeep. Why in the world wouldn't they have responded to that earlier? Alright, I have no answer to that, so I guess that happens. And now I have no reason to stop on their upkeep anymore, so yeah. Okay. Why didn't they just respond the moment I tried to start activating Druid? Then they could have just F6 through the rest of the turn. Yeah, are we losing now? Because now they can just breach their whole deck and then... Because I only have one ping with Longbow, so I can't kill Emery. Oh, so if I had not untapped the Druid, I could have had 2 pings here to kill Emery. And then we're going to get bolted out, right? Because now they have this treasure token. Alright, sideboarding. So I guess we want Oof. Yeah, we want Oof. They have rings, they have grinding stations, they have Mox Ambers. We definitely want Oof. I don't think a Graveyard Hate is relevant because... Or at least Jarina's not relevant because they can just win on the same turn, but Sanctifier is relevant. What is Soulless Jailer? Permanence cards can't know the back. Players can't cast non-creature spells from graveyards or exile. We definitely want Jailer. We want Stone of Eric to activate an instant speed. We want Needle for a bunch of stuff. We definitely want Haywire Mites to kill their stuff. Chalice, no. They are targeting us, but not with much. We can cut Spellskite since it doesn't work with Oof in play. Skrelv doesn't work with Oof in play either. Forge Tender is alright. They don't have that much red removal, though. They have like, what, 2... They have like 4 to 5 Bolt / Heat and a Fury. I guess it is relevant. Veil's not relevant. Cut that. And Birds is actually relevant for outracing them. So what are we cutting? Grist can go. Oh, so much to cut. Bird can probably go. I'm not sure. It is better. It's way better on the play, but we need to cut 4 cards. Stoneforge, let's cut. So this means they can't breach anything. They can breach their creature. They can breach Ragavan and Emery, but they can't breach anything else, and they can't cast anything with Emery. So this is useful. It also anti-interacts with Tyvar, which is unfortunate, but I think it's better than it is worse. Needle names a bunch of stuff. Maybe we get rid of this plan and just try to race them. It didn't feel like they had much like they had removal, obviously, in terms of like Bolt, Unholy Heat, etc. But Oof and Haywire Mite's kind of awkward, but I think we can keep it. So yeah, Mite to hit their stuff. Oof shuts off all their artifacts. Barrington Forge Tender means Ragavan can't attack, and it can protect any of our other creatures from burn spells. And then 2 lands isn't great, but we'll eventually get enough mana for these finales to be good. Now let's play this. I need to get rid of this stop on upkeep. They did nothing on turn 1. All right. Well, I'm tempted just to slam Oof now, but I think I want to save that for later. So let's just attack with Forge Tender. I think we just go Mite, play a land, and then pass. Now we can either fetch no shock at the end of their turn or fetch shock if we want to kill Urza's Saga or whatever else they play. Prismatic Ending on this. And I cannot activate that in response, right? Yeah, all right. Well, there goes Haywire Mite. But it has acted as successful bait to let Collect Roof survive. I guess I get Godless Shrine because then I have all of my lands in diverse colors. Well, that's different with this. And we're for sure playing Devoted Druid. So if this survives, we get to go Finale X's 2, grab Vizier, Finale Infinite. Forge Tender is protecting us. Yeah, it's protecting us from Fury. Response Unholy Heat, sure. Hello, how are you doing? Hey, Sean Rover. This is our second league, and we are playing Devoted Druid versus Grinding Station, or Grinding Breach. Well, they just burned through a lot of interaction. Is there any way we can lose if we pass the turn here? They can go like, they have to have a legendary creature plus Mox Amber plus Breach. Are we better off just playing Vizier first? Probably not. We need Devoted Druid in play to even do anything. Just running Vizier out doesn't do anything. So I think we just go Oof Pass. And Oof Pass means none of their artifacts do anything. If they have the 1 ring, they can't even draw with it. So that seems like the best course of action until we draw a 4th land. I laugh in the face of your bauble. They have 2 cards, don't know what they are. All right, there we go. I don't see any reason why we shouldn't attack. They have nothing that they can flash in, right? In Jeskai Breach? Yeah, there's nothing they can flash in, so let's just attack them. Devoted Druid combo, do you have Tyvar? Yes, we are playing Tyvar. All right, fetch, Forest. I guess we could get the one out of our graveyard as well. Is that worth it? No, it's not, because if we draw Tyvar, we want one in our graveyard. Although we can always just kill it, but yeah, let's just search the library. That's fine. Any reason to get anything else? I think it's just grab Devoted Druid and pass the turn. So if this survives, next turn we just go Vizier, Infinite Finale, you die. Unless they have the ring, but they can't even draw with the ring. So they have 3 cards in hand. They had 2 last turn and they didn't do anything. If they had instant speed interaction, they surely would have cast it on one of these 2 creatures. So I don't know what could be in their hand. Probably like a ring and they don't have the 4th mana for it. So one of the things that I find to be a problem with online play over real life is that when you have situations like this where you just have an opponent sitting and not doing anything, there's always multiple possibilities. It's like, okay, do they have a really complicated, like difficult decision to make and they're tanking and they're trying to figure out what to do? Or do they have an easy, straightforward decision and they're just taking a long time for some reason? Or did they like time out? Are they having connectivity issues? And it can feel frustrating because you don't know what it is that they're waiting around for. Okay, so they're going to breach back Heat, presumably, and just kill Devoted Druid off. Or Oof, but probably Druid. Yeah. All right. I've not seen the wheel. I love building lists as I'm an EDH player, so trying to brew out of meta and modern is interesting. Well, we're definitely attacking them. So I think the move is to just finale for Devoted Druid again, because the alternative is like play another stacks piece or like something that will protect Oof. And do I want to search my library or graveyard? I think it's still library. Yeah, let's just grab another Druid. Because this Druid here means that any top deck that is an outlet means I win on the spot with Vizier. Well, they got the 1 ring. They also got Needle, so they can Needle Druid. Tyvar. This doesn't get back anything I can use. Well, I think we just go play that. And then let's go Tyvar, and I'm going to mill and try to put something back into play. Probably Forge Tender. So, mill 3. I would like to use his ability, and what are my choices? Druid, Forge Tender, so I didn't mill anything I can use. Oh, put Longbow in the graveyard? I already have a Druid, so let's just put Forge Tender back into play. And then I'll just put Haywire Might into play. And then I guess we just keep attacking with Oof. Can't attack with anything else, so yeah. So, if they have a 4th mana, they can put Ring into play, but then they can't do anything with it. Okay, so they're going to Needle Druid, probably. Yep, alright. We're kind of in a cripple fight right now. We're just both like not really able to do much. Ella Damri's Call. What can I call for? I can't use the Might because Oof is turning it off. So just see what we got. I can grab Ballista, which can't do anything. I can grab Soulless Jailer to stop them from casting stuff from their graveyard. Stoneforge doesn't get anything. Stoneforge just grabs Luxior, and then I can't do anything with that. Soulless Jailer also screws up Tyvar, though, so that's an issue. But I think I'm out of win cons as long as Oof is in play. Alternatively, I grab Sanctifier on Vec and exile this stuff. Yeah, let's just grab Soulless Jailer. Attack, 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 attack. Play Jailer. Then I'm going to untap Forge Tender in case they like dash a Ragavan or something. They can't activate any artifacts. They can't cast anything with Emery. Yeah, all right. If I just... Okay, so they have the ring protecting them, so I'll just go Giver of Runes and then pass the turn. Or I guess I'll use Tyvar and then just pass. Ring triggers does nothing. They can't activate it. They can put Karnstructs into play, which is a problem. But I do have enough attackers that I can get through them. All right. Yeah, they can't cast that. So, wait. Why are they allowed to cast that? Doesn't this stop that? Players can't cast non-creature spells from graveyards or exile. Excuse me? Is this bugged? What's going on here? Players can't cast non-creature spells from graveyards or exile. You may cast that card this turn from your graveyard. WTF. All right, Besage You. I can blow up Needle, which unlocks Devoted Druid, but then what? Does nothing. Alternatively, I Besage You the Saga. Can't activate this. Can't damage them. Well, if their cards are bugged, let's see if mine are bugged. Or if my cards are bugged, let's see if theirs are bugged. I'm not wrong, right? Like this should stop Emery, correct? Players can't cast non-creature spells from graveyards or exile. Tap. Choose target artifact card in your graveyard. You may cast that card this turn. So I can shut off Pithing Needle to unlock the mana, but then I can't do anything with the mana, so I guess just pass. And then I somehow won that match. Are you as confused as I am right now? What in the world happened there? Alright, well, at least we know Soulless Jailer appears to be bugged. Unless there's just something I'm missing. No lands, mulligan. 5 lands and 2 cards that aren't very good. Well, 5 lands. And we're on the draw. So if we keep, we go turn 1 Giver, turn 2 Stoneforge, fetch Cauldra. There's so many ways that goes wrong, but mulling to 5 is really bad. We have so many like dead draws in this deck too. I think high roll, keep it and see what happens. Oh, what am I putting on the bottom? Some land. This land. Maybe I should have mulled again. Arid Mesa would seem to indicate that I should have mulled again. Alright, Murktide it is maybe, probably. Is this Breach again? Dashing a Ragavan. Oh, I'll block that. Actually, should I block that? The fact that he didn't kill it immediately says to me that he doesn't have removal. So maybe I just don't block it. Yeah, alright, you can hit me. Alright, let's go fetch a and Cauldra. This has to be Breach again, right? Because it's Saga plus Darcy plus Ragavan. Does Breach play Darcy? I guess they might. So now I can make 2 Constructs, which is pretty bad for me, I guess. Well, it's not that bad with Kaldra. So I assume they're just going to make double Construct, and then... So they'll have Construct, Treasure Token. Okay, guess not. Milled another Darcy. Emery. Alright, we're playing Breach. Amber in the graveyard. Alright. So next turn they're going to go fetch Mox Amber, or I guess no, they have Amber in their graveyard, so they're going to go fetch... They could fetch Amber, but they could also fetch Needle to shut off Stoneforge if I don't do it now. Yeah, let's just do this. I think my best course of action right now is just racing them. Alright, so they can't Needle my land. Aether Spellbomb. Yeah, that's kind of bad. So now they can bounce the Germ, and then I am left with the exiled Luxior. I feel like I want to get to a point where I stop making mistakes, and then that feeling is just incorrect because you will never stop making mistakes, and you can only reduce the amount of mistakes that you make. Do they have the win? They don't have Grinding Station, right? So they're just going to flash Lightning Bolt back a bunch. They have 3, 4, 6. They can flash Lightning Bolt back twice, so they can kill both of my creatures. Oh, they do have Grinding Station. So they have Amber and Bauble, so now they can go off. I feel like it wouldn't be that hard to program a way to make shortcuts with multiple actions. You could basically have like a button that would say, it would essentially say like begin sequence, for example, and then it would record each action that you take in the sequence. And then you could just say like execute sequence, you know, X number of times. And it would just go through it executing the sequence as long as your opponent's not responding to you. Oh, they're just going to bolt me out. Okay. All right. Forge Tender in, Sanctifier in, no Veils, Collector Oof, Might, Needle, Stone. Apparently this card doesn't work. I think I will bring Chalice in against this deck. And then I don't want Jarina because they can just go off the same turn. Cutting. Grist is not going to be that useful here. One of the Stone Forges. Can cut birds. I don't want Skrelv in my deck if... let's see. Skrelv and Sky are just so bad when you have Oof in play, but I guess I might have one or the other. Is Chalice on 0 correct? It means they can't loop Ambers. Yeah, alright, let's try this. Alright, what do we got? Double Giver plus Stoneforge. Kind of the same situation as last game, but I think we just go for it. Opponent mulls to 6, mulls to 5. Alright, turn 1 Giver into turn 2 Stoneforge, fetch Kaldra, and then just try to race them. Getting rid of the Giver. I think we just are pressed into playing Stoneforge anyway. And Kaldra, and then if they have another removal, they have another removal. Yep. Oh well, that's how it goes. Verdant, play Giver, play Haywire Might, pass turn. Yep, alright. They just had the all interaction hand. I guess I'm gonna fetch for... I have Godless Shrine in my hand already, so let's just put Overgrown Tomb into play. Alright, well, we'll eventually draw into the mana for Kaldra. Opponent does nothing. Alright. Activate this. This is 3, right? Yeah. Oh, it's 3. I thought it was more than that. Oh well. If they want to bolt this, that's fine. Grinding Station. We're literally 2 lands away from Kaldra. Alright. We're going to want to shock this in. Let's play Giver, and then let's activate Lair for as much as possible. Keep swinging. Attack. And then next turn we have Kaldra with Giver runes up. Emery. They didn't mill over any artifacts? They did not. Okay. Alright, hard cast this Kaldra. Well, we got him dead next turn if they don't find an out. I guess that's not quite true. They can block, technically. But we do have... Well, actually, no. We have Giver to pro-blue it through them. Or we just have, like, multiple creatures. So we have Kaldra plus Lair, and we can pro stuff either from their removal or through their blockers. And all I have is Emery Grinding Station. What's their best move? Play something that gets rid of the Germ, like Prismatic, and then somehow have removal up for the Lair. Grinding Station yourself. Sacking Grinding Station, putting nothing of any value in the graveyard. And then Emery back the Grinding Station and do it again for nothing. Yeah. DRC. Yep. So now they have multiple creatures that we can't pro our way through. Alright, what's the best move here? Animate Lair into a... So we can play a land, and then we have that land plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need to make it lethal. Attack with both. They have to block both, unless they have removal. Alternatively, we do Lair for 4 and then have the mana for Haywire Might up. I feel like that's just so much worse. Yeah, let's just activate this. 4, X5, done. If I pro one of these guys pre-combat, it doesn't matter. They just block the other one. Swing, swing. So block there, block the max here. That's fine. Go to damage. Is there any reason to play Haywire Might right now? I can't activate it, and if I try to do that right now, I go to 8. So I think I just pass. I'll have plenty of mana next turn if I need to do that. They have no board. 3 cards. Yeah, all right. Sideboarding. So even though their combo does rely on... Well, actually, their combo does not rely on Grinding Station. They have Grinding Station, but they can just win normally by playing regular creatures and then eventually getting to the point where they have a sufficient graveyard with Underworld Breach plus Bolt. So they don't, strictly speaking, and I'm wary of putting Soulless Jailer in my deck now because it appears to be just completely broken and not working. Shadow Spear, I don't think I need to race them on life. Do I need the Haywire Mites? Probably. Needle can name Emery or Grinding Station, so that's fine. Stone of Eric gets rid of their whole graveyard, which is useful. I think this is still fine. So what does this hand do? Forge Tender turn 1, turn 2, tutor for Devoted Druid, play Devoted Druid next turn. It's slow as hell, but it also has these like really bad cards. Like Viridian Longbow and Drum are not great to start with. I think it's okay though. Let's just keep this for now. So we'll fetch a Plains, play Forge Tender. Perfect counter to this Ragavan. Excellent. Unless they have Prismatic Ending, which they might. Grinding Station, okay. I assume they're not going to do anything else. All right. I kind of want to play Drum and then just hold up that plus Forge Tender for the call. I don't think I have anything else to do, so let's just do that. It is unfortunate that this is going to start making Constructs, which is a problem. I guess I could call for Haywire Might to get rid of it, which might be correct actually, because otherwise they're just going to put too many Constructs into play, unless they're just not doing that. EE for 1. They're just not going to activate it now? Oh, I should have fetched it. Oh, I guess I don't need to fetch in response. Yeah, okay. Fetch, Forest, Eladamri's Call for white. I think I would rather grab Haywire Might and blow this up rather than Devoted Druid. I'm not entirely sure though. I just don't want them untapping, like making a Construct, and then I have to deal with the Construct. I have multiple other tutors in my hand anyway. The other option is just get Devoted Druid, and then I just have to play it out, and it dies to every piece of removal. So I think I would rather get the Might. So they're going to do this on my upkeep to try to deny me the mana from this, right? Which it will not work out for them. Green, white, Eladamri's. And now let's grab Devoted Druid. Maybe not. Maybe Stoneforge is better, because we're kind of running low on pieces to do stuff with. Actually, that's not true. We have a tutor, and then we have Longbow, so we can actually win with that on the stack, or with that on the spot. So yeah, let's grab Devoted Druid. Then that resolves. Kills their Ragavan. We drew Needle. I'm just going to Might this right now. All right, so we need black and green. Just get rid of that. All right, we're going to want to shut that off. I can Tyvar and put something back into play. I don't want to do that. Let's just Needle this and play Druid. So if Druid survives, we get to untap. We have 5 mana, and then we can Finale X's2, grab Vizier, play Viridian Longbow, and ping them to death. If it doesn't survive, we can Tyvar, bring it back. EE for 1 again. All right. So they're going to blow up Needle and then Emery the Bauble back into play probably. Yeah. And then we win, hopefully. All right, that ought to do it. Search Library, Vizier. And now the manas. And the opponent should now understand that they have lost and scoop. Yep. All right, 3-1. Last match of the league. All right, this looks fine. Turn 1 bird, turn 2 something, don't know. Probably Godless Shrine, and then next turn fetch the Plains. Or rather, Overgrown Tomb next turn to the Plains. 2 life, the bird. All right, what are we up against? Snow Mountain, Bolt. All right then, pass turn. We'll just Eladamri's Call for Druid. Could be Murktide. I assume if they're playing Snow-Covered Mountain, that means they're playing Ragavan. Oh no, we're playing Scam? All right, well, Plains, Eladamri's Call. 2 mana open, not doing anything. I mean, we just have to grab Devoted Druid. Like anything is potentially just going to die, so let's just grab that and then potentially draw into 3rd land and Tyvar next turn. Not a land. Well, high roll. Better to high roll than to hedge. We could have played Bird Haywire and then they just killed a bird or something. Either way, we're fine as long as we get to the 3rd mana for Tyvar. Yep. Bolt Unholy Heat, and they're in red and black, so I assume this is Scam. Or it could be Death Shadow, I guess. Thoughtseize, sure. Thoughtseize. If I were them, I would take Finale, probably. Or, yeah, Finale. Either that or the first Tyvar, yeah. And then try to deal with the other Tyvar later. Come on, land. There we go. Differently. So then minus, put Devoted Druid back into play. Oh, are they Drown in the Locking this? No. Spell Pierce. Is this Grixis Shadow? That's the only deck I can think that it is. What was that? Put Gigantha into the hand. Tyvar again. Now, don't you have Spell Pierce? Don't you do it. All right. Use Tyvar's ability. Bring back Devoted Druid. Tap the Druid. Put a bird into play. Tap the bird. Put Haywire Might into play. Pass turn. And then next turn we do have Finale, but we don't have another payoff. Oh, something dying? Yep. All right. So we can Finale for Druid again, I suppose. Orcish Bowmasters. To kill the bird. Well, yikes. Hey, we finally drew Urza Saga. Can't cast Finale, so I guess we just plus on nothing, and then pass the turn. So, killing Tyvar. Alright. So I guess our plan is Karnstruct them now. So if they attack, I'm not going to block with Haywire Might because I want the Karnstructs to be bigger. Assume they're just going to play Gigantha now. Attack all. I could actually trade with Darcy, but I don't want to. Skrelv, and then pass the... And then we will make a 3/3 Karnstruct, which is big enough to kill these guys, or maybe Darcy. How many spell types do they have? Instant, sorcery, land, and they're missing a creature. So Darcy's almost up to Delirium. Alright, now it has Delirium. So they attack. I take 3 minimum from Dragon's Rage Channeler. I assume they're also going to attack with Gigantha, and that presents a pretty big problem, because now I'm in a position where if I don't block, I just die to the Darcy next turn. Alright, so it is Death Shadow. So if I don't block, I think I just have to block. Like, things are not getting any better for me here. Yeah. Another Finale that I can't cast. Alright, let's resolve this. What do I want? I guess Drum. I want Drum so that I can Finale next turn. Cannot do anything with Finale this turn. I have 4/4 Constructs. Am I still... So I can trade with Shadow, but, I mean, maybe not. I can double block Gigantha. Skrelv will protect my guys. Yeah, alright, pass. If I were them, I would probably just attack with everything. Underworld Breach. Alright, now we're dead, right? They have 2 red mana, and they can flash back on Holy Heat. Yeah, alright. Good enough. Well, yeah. I'm only going to have 1 blocker after they do this. And then, yeah, it's fine. Next game. Alright, Grixis Death Shadow. We want Forge Tender. We want Sanctifier. They have a lot of 1-drops, so we want Chalice of the Void. Shadow Spear's a maybe to race them. Jarina is not really good. The fact that it's only a 1-off effect means it's not great. We do have Veil of Summer, but it looks like they're primarily Rakdos with blue just for expressive iteration and Spell Pierce, but that's fine. Might can go. Spellskite, fine. Skrelv is fine. We're on the play, so Birds is better. Grist is pretty good. It just blocks well against all their stuff. Let's see. Okay, Shadow Spear can go. Then what else? Drum, one of the birds. I need to cut 1 more card. One of the Stone Forges. Because Stoneforge after the first one's pretty bad in this deck. Alright, that looks fine. We only have 1 land, we must mulligan. We have 2 lands, one of which is Urza Saga, but we have plenty of things to play. I think the best option is to high roll and try a bird first. Put a bird back. Yeah, that's a Temple Garden. Play the bird. And then if this dies, we play Giver next turn. Yep. Alright. And then, do we play Urza Saga? I don't think so, because I think I want to play Grist next turn, so... I think I want to leave the Saga for later. Let's just play this for now and pass. They did not have a second land, eh? Alright, we want a second green source and we want a black source, so let's grab Overgrown Tomb. And then Grist. And there we go. Alright, run it back 1 more time, I suppose. I think we're good here. Same stuff is fine. We have 1 land. We have like all the pieces we need, but 1 land's real bad, even if we have Burnt Forge Tender first. Because if we don't draw another land, then it's like land, Forge Tender, land, bird, and we're just like so slow. It's alright. Mulligan. This is keepable. What am I throwing back? Probably one of the Finales, because we need the bird to be Bolt Bait. It depends on how much removal they have in their hand. So if they don't have removal, they take Devoted Druid. If they do have removal, probably... I mean, these are more mana intensive for me than this. It also depends on what their curve is like. So, for example, if they have something they want to play on turn 2 that isn't... Alright, so they took Eladamri's Call. Alright. Man, X1 creatures are not doing well in this format, are they? With Orcish Bowmasters and Renin 6 everywhere. 2 mana for... Bowmaster? No, EE for 2. So basically the question is just which 2-drop do I want to keep more? If this is their only removal to answer Devoted Druid, then it's better for me to keep Stoneforge so I can Cauldra them. So let's just do that. So now if they pop EE, they have to spend their turn doing it. And, alright. So spend their turn EE, pop this, play another removal spell on Bird, or just some other threat. Death Shadow for 3. I can Finale for 2, but I don't think that does anything. Let's play Saga, and then let's Stoneforge, grab Cauldra, and pass the turn. Obviously it's bad if they kill this, but they've spent 2 interactive pieces already. I mean, they could have another one easily. They are Death Shadow. Yep, there we go. I was like, what else was I supposed to do? If I Finale for Devoted Druid, that just gets killed the same. All right, no blocks. Another Death Shadow. Well, this can actually block these for now. I need Black Mana in case this dies. So let's just play Skite to block and then hold up Saga. I guess it doesn't. I guess I'm going to shock regardless, probably. It occurs to me they also could be playing Dress Down, which would kill all my Constructs and make their shadows gigantic. So that is another thing to keep in mind. I do have to be aware of that when I'm calculating the combat math. All right, let's fetch Godless Shrine. All right, now, depends on what I draw. Giver of Runes, so I can Finale for X's 2 or 3. I don't think that's helpful. I think it's helpful to just make another Construct. What am I getting with this? I guess just Luxior, so if I ever get Druid into play, I have it. Yeah, that seems fine. Is there a reason to get Longbow? That only punishes them if they go to 1 or 2 life. Let's just grab Luck. And then we can play Giver, and then pass. So now we have 2 pieces of protection with Spellskite and Giver of Runes in play. Although not yet. Yep, I figured something like that was happening. And now the shadows will be gigantic. So now I'm forced to chump both of them actually. Underworld Breach, and then they can double removal. Or do they have enough to do it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Did I miscount? I thought they didn't have enough to do it twice. Yeah, and then we're dead to the shadows. All right, good game, opponent. Well, that was an unfortunate end of that league, but we still did at least go X2. All right, so not a big fan of Jarina. I think this could be a different piece of graveyard hate. Otherwise, I'm mostly fine with the sideboard. Maybe Emrakul could be something different. I don't think you need Orvar necessarily just to fight creativity. If Soulless Jailer is just completely bugged on Moto, then just don't play it. Otherwise, pretty happy with the deck. And I think we will end it here for today and come back tomorrow with the rest of the decks. So as a reminder, we have all the rest of these to go through. And again, I will thank Collector Legion for sponsoring this stream and the future streams to come. So for everyone who showed up, thanks for hanging out, and I will see you tomorrow, same time.